That interview, as I've been promising you. The chairperson says there are issues that the province would like to see the National ANC office addressing. Now, on his arrival at the 9th ANC KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Conference, Party President Cyril Ramaphosa was booed by the delegates who refused to let him speak. They burst into song, singing Wenzeni Zuma and calling for change in the ANC. Now, following an intervention by Duma, Ramaphosa eventually did address the conference. Meanwhile, Ramaphosa congratulated the party in KwaZulu-Natal for holding what he called a disciplined and well-organised conference. Member of the KwaZulu-Natal legislature and former ANC Youth League Deputy Chair Siboniso Duma has been elected the new ANC Chairperson for the KZN region. And the Chair joins us now. Chair, congratulations and a very good morning to you.
Good morning, Leanne, with your viewers as well at home. Thank you so much for welcoming us this morning.
It's an absolute pleasure. How are you feeling? I mean, obviously it was a very busy and I can imagine a bit of a blur of a weekend, but how do you feel this morning?
I think I'm okay, I'm strong, and we've been warmly welcomed by the victory of Bafana, so we are strong that South Africa is going to go forward.
Good. Well, I'm so glad you're feeling the victory as well of Banyana, because it is a victorious weekend for them and for you. You know, I suppose one has to talk about it. I mean, you are the chair of chairs in the legislature and have been in the ANC Youth League leadership. For those that are asking, who is Siboniso Duma? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I think Siboniso Duma is the son of the struggler who grew up in the rural area called Mzombe and the Oko district. We joined the ANC Youth League in our early days. We were part of the student movement in what was called University of Natal, Pietermaritzburg. At that time, we led SASCO. We were part of the leadership in the SRC, and we also led the ANC Youth League from the branch to the region, later to the province as the Deputy Secretary of KwaZulu-Natal. At that particular time, in 2008, we were elected with the collective leadership.
So you have said, when we look at some of the results that came through over the weekend, you said that there won't be purging, but there are speculations that Sihle Zikalala could be removed, as it has been the case in some situations where a new leadership comes in before the end of the term. What does the future hold for him?
I think we must clarify, by purging in the ANC, we mean that there are no branches that will be targeted because they didn't vote for certain perspective. There are no regions that are going to be subjected to scrutiny because they had a different view. So that's what meant by purging in our context, that we are still going to embrace each other as camaraderie. We are brothers and sisters in the struggle. I think views are allowed. Democratic process is something that is always prevailing. So by purging, we meant that we are going to unify the organization. We are going to ensure that everyone who was part and parcel of the plenary feels that must go back and reflect the change nicely of what is expected as the leader of the society. It has nothing to do with government. We are still going to do the assessment. We've just been elected, and those things will come in the process.
Okay, so at this point, the positions are safe, but there are assessments that are coming, and change is coming. That you can be, they can be rest assured of. And may I quote you on that? That change is coming to KwaZulu-Natal.
I've not said anything about change, Leanne. I'm saying that the newly elected leadership, having a new mandate from the conference, they've just assisted to it by giving the direction, what is required of the ANC. And remember that we promised that we are going to hit the ground running going towards 2024. So we must just ensure that we become a responsive organization. We make sure that, as we've already highlighted, that we've been hit hard by the disaster that took place in the province. All those issues we must juxtapose in ensuring that both national and provincial government and local municipalities are ensuring that we give back the hope to the communities that have been affected.
What is the new direction? Perhaps that's a better worded question. What is the new direction that you have decided on for the province?
The conference agreed that the government must be responsive enough. Like, for instance, on the issue of disaster, there were some contradictions on what has been projected and what has been pronounced by national government, that there are some billions that will be dispatched to the province of KwaZulu-Natal, yet they were waiting for the issue of procurement. If there is a disaster, because you'll find that people will be taken out of their homes because of what happened, it means that let us respond faster. You can't have people being still deserted. Let us go back to them. The issue of water, I think you know what happened at Tegwin, at Ugu, and Ilembe district municipality, and in some areas of Umgungundlovu. We must make sure that we respond. We must make sure that service delivery is not compromised. The road that has been washed away must be done by local government, municipality, and the province must assist, and what has been projected by the national come to the fore, and people get their hope back that indeed this is the right government for them.
I want to talk about leadership positions as well, so particularly pertaining to women within leadership positions. So sitting treasurer, who's also the MEC for Finance, Siboniso Duma, accepted her nomination for the chair position as the first female to ever do that. She didn't meet the 25% threshold, allowing her to contest the position for chairmanship. Others have criticised her for accepting the nomination. Does that demoralise or does it allow more females to dare challenge this position?
ANC as a liberation organization become the pillar and the vehicle that gives hope to women. I think the issue of women emancipation is something that is broad, because just putting a quota in the constitution of the ANC meant that we are saying that the majority in the society are women, and they suffered a serious onslaught during apartheid era, and they should take leadership positions. So in KZN, we just take the positive attributes that for the first time, the deputy chairperson who's elected is the female as well. So it's what is critical at this point in time. Just accepting nomination is part of democracy, which is a good thing, and it must be always encouraged that comrades must contest for this position, but there are no victors, no vanquished in the ANC. There are no winners, as you've already used a strong word that Comrade Cyril is defeated. Comrade Cyril is not defeated, is still part, is our leader, so we proceed working as comrade.
That leads me to the ANC president, Cyril Ramaphosa, who of course was there at the closing yesterday. We saw that happening, but during the day there were speculation, or there was word coming out that he was not going to be coming due to his schedule, that he was too busy, he wasn't able to come. And that was pretty much so almost directly after your victory had been announced. What happened? What changed? What was going on there?
President Ramaphosa, as you know, that he is both the president of the ANC and the president of the country. It means that his diary is always busy. He gave us a positive and warmly congratulatory remarks in the morning because he was going to be busy. But fortunately enough, during the day, his schedule got cleared, and he thought that it is strategic that he come and give us the remarks physically so that he gives hope. I think you heard Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, yesterday spoke about that. There is a need for social radical economic transformation, which is something that our people are anticipating for it because of unemployment, because of something in the province and in the entire South Africa. We need hope that something ought to be done. The issue of economy is in the bad space at this point, and the petrol prices are still hiking. People are losing their jobs. So he thought that it is strategic that for province like KwaZulu-Natal, which is part and parcel of the system, he must come and present his case.
Yeah. In fact, in this clip now, we're showing something on air right now. You were saying that the president was not booed when he arrived. But there are visuals, and there certainly is a huge contingency saying that he was booed and that you had to get up and calm the crowd down. I want to talk about this. When the president got up and tried to speak and he was booed and you had to calm the audience down, what does that tell you about how your delegates feel about the president?
I think this thing was just happening live, Lee, and yes, indeed, Comrade will sing a song because when the leader of the ANC comes in the plenary, obviously you expect them, Comrade, to come and chant the slogan or the revolutionary song. Yes, Comrade sang the song, and we felt that they must give the president. There were things that they were not happy. We've already highlighted that the issue of former President Zuma in the province of KwaZulu-Natal remained a thorn, something that should be addressed, because since day one in the opening, Comrade felt that former President Zuma must be treated fairly, and he has not been treated fairly by the system. So they were just reflecting that president of the ANC, who's also the head of the state, should do something just to protect the rights of former President Zuma. So those were the concerns. Then we had to address Comrade and the decorum of the plenary. We reflected, they responded, then they listened almost for an hour, listening patiently to the ANC president. So we were bit taken aback when media wanted to highlight that President was poor if he didn't speak. President was afforded an opportunity to address delegates.
Yeah, but I suppose I'm not sure if the media were taken aback. I think people were, in a way, expecting it. I mean, we hear about the factions within the ANC, and we hear about the massive support that the former President Jacob Zuma does have in KwaZulu-Natal, which is no secret, and Ramaphosa is on the other side. And whether we like to agree on this fact or not, there is differences within the ANC. There are factions within the ANC. How are you, as the leader now within the party, and the biggest, I mean, the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal has the biggest portion there. How are you going to ensure that you keep the ANC as one party and not create more deep divisions that we're already starting to see?
I wouldn't want to call them factional tendencies per se, but I'll say that they've been, going to the conference, we'll have some contradictions, different views. But after the conference, the plenary has just highlighted that we need to unite before 2024. We must go back to basic, where we go back to our branches, become a responsive ANC-led government, so as to ensure that we give back our people hope. So it is not correct that each time there are different views, then you say that no, there is factionalism, because you go to different sectors, there will be differences, even within the industry, the media industry, there will be some differences, different stakeholders. So in the ANC as well, there will be some different views at a different time because of what must be achieved by the leadership.
Mm. When you sort of have this, and outside you see the likes of Carl Niehaus standing with a small crowd saying that Ramaphosa must go, how does that make you feel? Because that is the president and the leader of your party, but to have some members and Carl Niehaus standing there with signs asking the president to leave, what does that make you feel?
The less said about Carl Niehaus, the better, because the reflection of the conference, it was a smooth conference, so we wouldn't want the issue of the reflection of media to be taken outside of what was happening inside. We must reflect more of what was happening inside. The spirit inside, there was a camaraderie spirit. We were agreeing that there is a need for us to take back the ANC to the basic. We agreed that from now onwards, let's go back to the church. The issue of Nazareth Baptist Church was highlighted as something that we must just go build our historic position of working with the church, with Amakosi, and they were all present inside the venue, and they were all agreeing. Indeed, this is a smooth conference which was organized by the outgoing PSC.
As the largest province in numbers, as I think we've mentioned a few times, KwaZulu-Natal usually has dominated and has a very big voice in the ANC national elections, making what happens in the province of interest as a barometer to gauge the outcomes of the party's national elective conferences. I mean, until 2017, when the Nasrec, I suppose, shook things up a lot. What are your expectations come December?
I think, Comrade, the issue that is critical these days is the triple challenges matter. Africans in our country, you'll find that there's the majority are not at the fore of ensuring that we are running the economy. I think the new dispensation of 1994, people felt that we've only won the political means. People are not running the economy, people are shedding job, or the private sector is shedding job and is not complementing government enough, because government at this point in time must create an enable environment, but must also intervene whenever there are needs. I think you know the economic meltdown that took place in 2008 meant that loss of job was something that was at the forefront. I think we've had the unions these days complaining that the cost of living is high and something must be done, which is why we are emphatic on the resolution of social economic transformation. Let us implement it to the T so that people are garnering the support that they are going to be assisted in terms of driving the economy, the cooperatives. Make sure that the youth of this country participate in gaining the momentum when getting the skills from universities. They must be given opportunities. The banking sector in our country must be biased towards the women, the youth, so that the economy can grow going forward.
Well, Chair, we wish you the best of luck. We thank you for your time and talking to us this morning. The province certainly does need some, I suppose, good luck and leadership in the position that will turn around the fate of KZN, which has really seen some very, very tough times. So there you are. That's the new face of leadership. Chairperson of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, talking to us this morning, and an absolute pleasure having him, Siboniso Duma, here with us on the programme. Thank you and good luck, Chair. All right, that leads us up to 7 o'clock. Let's get your news.